Welcome back to my YouTube channel, my online viewers and my students here. We are going to look at a very interesting topic, plant nutrition. This is the continuation of the last class, nutrition. I told you that we're going to discuss photosynthesis more in details today. Now, anytime we are talking about plant nutrition, what should always be in your mind is autotrophic nutrition. Alright? This is not because plants only undergoes autotrophic nutrition. No. We have some plant that undergoes heterotrophic nutrition. Plants like carnivorous plants, such as Venus flytrap, bladderwort, butterwort, sundew. Alright? Why these plants are carnivorous is because of the absence of nitrogenous salts in the soil where the plants are grown. Alright? There is typical absence of nitrogenous salts. And because of that, the plants lack nitrogen. Alright? And you know that nitrogen is one of the macronutrients required by plants in larger quantity. Alright? Reason why plants require nitrogen in larger quantity is because of its great contributions to plants. Lack of nitrogen in the plant causes stunted growth. It causes yellowing of leaves. It also depreciates the growth of the roots and the root absorption of mineral salt and water in the soil. So the nitrogen plays a very important role in plants, and that is why it is required in larger quantities. All right. So these plants I mentioned, the carnivorous plants, they grow in an area where there is typical absence of nitrogen. So the plant will now try to adapt by creating some certain structures that will enable them to acquire nitrogen on their own, despite being absent in the soil where they are grown. The plant will now start to attract insects, break the insect down, digest it to acquire animal protein. Then the animal protein are further broken down to acquire amino acid. And in amino acid, we have nitrogen. You see how the plants now get nitrogen that is typically absent in the soil where they are grown. Now, these carnivorous plants, they are known as insectivorous. They are known as insectivorous. They feed on insects to acquire nitrogen, which is absent in the soil where the plant are grown, and that is why the plant becomes carnivorous plants, because of the absence of nitrogen. Now, here in autotrophic nutrition, as I told you, you cannot separate autotrophic nutrition from plant nutrition, because most plants undergoes this autotrophic nutrition. And the type of autotrophic nutrition we are going to discuss in this important video, and the type of autotrophic nutrition we are going to discuss today is photosynthesis. Remember in the last class, I made mention of photosynthesis and chemosynthesis, but today we are only going to focus our attention on photosynthesis. All right? I've defined photosynthesis in the last class. Let me just define today. I will not write again on the board because we have a lot to discuss in this class. Photosynthesis, as we discussed in the other class, is the series of stepwise reactions controlled by enzymes, all right, in which green plants have the ability to produce their food by themselves from simple inorganic substance such as chlorophyll, water, carbon dioxide, and sunlight. These are what the plant utilizes for photosynthesis. Now, I told you it is a series of stepwise reactions. We have two important reactions here in photosynthesis. One is light reaction. One is light reaction. All right. Secondly is dark reaction. We have light reactions, we have dark reaction. Now, both the light reaction and dark reaction takes place in the chloroplast. Both light reaction and dark reactions takes place in chloroplast. Alright? Both light reactions and dark reactions takes place in the chloroplast. Alright? But the part of chloroplast where light reaction takes place is known as grana. Alright? Light reaction takes place in the grana, while the dark reaction takes place in the stroma of the chloroplast. Alright? The part of the chloroplast where the dark reactions occur is known as stroma. This is very important for your exam. Please don't forget. Now, in the light reactions, we have 4 series of events occurring here. Alright? The first one is energizing of chlorophyll. The chlorophyll is energized. Alright? That means it gains energy from the sun. Which energy is that? We call it solar energy. Please take notes. I'm going to tell you the role of chlorophyll during photosynthesis. We all know that chlorophyll is the green coloring matter in plants, right? It makes plants to appear green in color, but that is not the function. Alright? Rather, I will say that that is the typical characteristics that shows that chlorophyll is present. Alright? Making the plant green in color, but that is not the function. Now, the function of chlorophyll in plants is this. Chlorophyll absorbs solar energy from the sun. It absorbs energy from the sun, and that energy is utilized by plants for photosynthesis. Do you understand? Okay. Remember, energy can never be created nor destroyed, but can be transferred from one form to another. Likewise, the solar energy, you were told that it is the primary source of energy. Alright? It cannot be created or destroyed, but the energy can constantly be transferred from one form to another. Alright? The energy here from the sun, which is the solar energy. Alright? We call it what? Solar energy. That energy here is absorbed. It is absorbed by what? Chlorophyll. Alright? Then chlorophyll now convert that energy to chemical energy. Alright? In form of adenosine triphosphate, which the plant utilizes for photosynthesis. Am I making sense here? Alright. So that is what chlorophyll does. It absorbs solar energy from the sun and converts it to chemical energy in form of adenosine triphosphate. And that is the first event that occurs in the light reaction. Remember, light reaction occurs in the grana of the chloroplast. Now, after that, the next is photolysis of water. Alright? Water molecule is split into hydrogen ion and hydroxide ion. Water molecule is split into hydrogen ion and hydroxide ion. Do you understand? Now, the hydrogen ion here is absorbed by an enzyme known as NADP, meaning nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate. That's the meaning of the enzyme. Nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate. Alright? That's the enzyme that absorbs hydrogen ion. But before that, half of the energy gained by the chlorophyll, listen, in your textbook, the energy gained by chlorophyll is said to be 100% efficiency. All right. So assuming the energy is 100% as stated in our textbook, half of the energy, which is 50%. Are you following now? Half of the energy absorbed by chlorophyll, which is how many percent here? 50%, is used to split the water molecule. You can say that the reaction is splitting of what? Water molecule into hydrogen ion and hydroxide ion. All right? The water is split into hydrogen ion and hydroxide ion by the 50% of the energy gained by chlorophyll. All right? That means if chlorophyll is not in green plant, there will be no energy used to split the water molecule into hydrogen ion and hydroxide ion. You see where chlorophyll play a very important role in photosynthesis. It plays a very vital role here because without chlorophyll here, there will be no energy to split the water molecule into hydrogen ion and hydroxide ion. All right? Then after that, the next is absorption. Absorption of hydrogen ion. The hydrogen here is absorbed, like I told you earlier. Absorption of hydrogen ion by enzyme. The enzyme is nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate. All right? Now, the enzyme here absorbs the hydrogen ion for two reasons. Okay? Number one reason is that so that the hydrogen as a gas will not escape out from the plant. Do you understand? Hydrogen is a gas, we know that in chemistry, right? Hydrogen exists as a gas. So that the hydrogen ion will not escape out from the plant as a gas. That's number one. Now, second reason why the enzyme absorbs the hydrogen ion is that so that the hydrogen will not recombine with oxygen to form water. Do you understand? So that the hydrogen ion will not recombine with oxygen to form water. That is the second reason why the enzymes is necessary to absorb this guy, hydrogen ion. All right? So that it will not escape out from the plant as a gas, and so that it will not recombine with oxygen to form water. The number 4 event that occurs here is formation of ATP from ADP. How did that happen? Half of the energy which was not used here. Remember I told you. At the second event, how many percent of energy is used here? 50%. Abi? How many is left? Yes, that's 50. All right? So 50% is left here, after utilizing 50% to split the water molecule into hydrogen ion and hydroxide ion. So 50% of energy which was not used during photolysis of water, that is the energy remaining after photolysis of water, is now added to ADP to form ATP. ATP here is a higher chemical energy, while ADP here is a lower chemical energy. We all know that, right? Adenosine diphosphate. Adenosine diphosphate. Di means what? 2. Adenosine triphosphate. Adenosine triphosphate, ATP. Tri means what? 3. All right? Now, the next we're going to look here is the dark reaction. All right? Dark reaction. What happens here? In the dark reaction, hydrogen atoms is combined with carbon dioxide to produce glucose in the absence of sunlight. And that is why the reaction is known as dark reaction. All right? The hydrogen atom here is combined with carbon dioxide in the dark reaction to produce what? Glucose, which is the first stable product. All right? And I think I'm going to use this opportunity to remind you of the chemical equation of photosynthesis. All right? Because Here is the 6 molecules of carbon dioxide, which is combined with what? With water, as we all know that it has two reactions, the light reaction and the dark reaction. All right? Remember, this is 6 molecules of water in the presence of sunlight. In the presence of sunlight, using chlorophyll. Are you following? Using chlorophyll to produce the first stable product, which is the glucose here. Glucose is C6H12O6 and 6 molecules of oxygen gas, which is given off as a byproduct. All right? Here is the glucose. Excess glucose in plants is converted to cellulose or starch. Now, oxygen is given off as a byproduct. This oxygen here is gotten from water. Remember, it is from carbon dioxide and water. All right? But because of the photolysis of water, that water is split into hydrogen ion and hydroxide ion. All right? So that hydrogen ion will combine with this. Then further, the hydroxide ion will be split into hydrogen ion and oxygen gas, which is now given off as a gas. So that is because of the photolysis of water. That is why the answer is said to be water. Oxygen given off by plants during photosynthesis is gotten from water because of this reaction. That is why the answer is water. Do you understand? All right. I want to use this opportunity to make you understand that the reverse reaction of photosynthesis is cellular respiration. Reverse reaction of photosynthesis is cellular respiration. All right? Respiration here is the series of stepwise reactions controlled by enzymes in which food molecules, which is the energy giving food here, glucose, right, is oxidized completely to produce carbon dioxide, which is a byproduct, to produce water, which is a byproduct, and to produce chemical energy in form of 38 ATP. This is the case of aerobic respiration. All right? So the reverse of photosynthesis is respiration. All right? Here, I think this is where we are going to stop for now. Thank you, and God bless you. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. More videos are coming up, all right? Thank you, and God bless you.